I almost said yes. Earlier this week, a company contacted me about a piece of exercise equipment, and it wasn't even the first one that contacted me. I was contacted by a rebounder company to try out their rebounder and make a video about it and tell you guys about it. But I've had my rebounder, my NEDAC rebounder, for 23 years, and people don't stick around for 23 years with junk. So I kindly turned them down. But this treadmill offer, it felt different. I started thinking about it while I was walking. I have a lot of time to think. And I started thinking about it. I thought, it's about to be 200 degrees here. It might be nice to have a treadmill option if it's really, really hot outside. I really like to be outside, don't get me wrong, but it was sneaking in there. I was thinking that it would be good when it's lightning out, because that's dangerous. When it gets icy, not that it's gonna be icy for a while, but all these things going through my head. And I'll be honest, an indoor backup started sounding like a good idea. So I started thinking about where I would put it. Okay, I've got a place I can put it, and what would I, put around it? How I would do it, how it would be set up. But what happened next reminded me of a much bigger lesson. When I was 37, I was such a people pleaser. Like, I can remember it like it happened yesterday, like I'm just only 38. That's how well I remember it. I felt like I needed to say yes to everything. I needed to be the PTO president, and I needed to be on committees, and I needed to be a guardian ad litem, and I had a pageant title, so I needed to do volunteer stuff for that. And I felt like the more I said yes, the better person I was going to be. I would be valuable, I would be thought highly of, and it would be like the thing that I needed to do in my life right now. And that's not what happened at all. What happened was I got sick. Like, I was going in 12 different directions, and I was constantly going from this thing to that thing with no rest, and I ended up losing my voice, which I love to talk. Losing my voice was a bad way to get sick. And I just realized at that time that, Lori, you've got to slow down. You've got to say no. Now, I'm 65. No is one of my favorite words. I will not do something just because someone thinks I should. I will not compete in a pageant, because I'll have to put those horrible, awful pageant shoes on my feet. I don't want to do that. No. I will not work full-time hours for half-time pay. No, I'm retired. I'm going to work my part-time job, and then I'm going to go home. I'm going to hike or something fun. I am going to do the things that I want to do. And you know what I found out? Nobody really thought any lesser of me than I could tell. They just went on. They found other solutions and other people, and nobody hates me for saying no. And guess what? I feel good about it. Now I just want to protect my joy. I don't need to please other people. I need to be sure that I can live my life and be happy doing it. And instead of disappointing myself for months while I'm doing this thing that I said that I would do. So somebody I met on Twitter, he's a hiker, and he hikes all the cool places here in Arkansas, and he lives a couple hours that way. And he has invited me repeatedly to go hiking with him. Well, he hikes with like 30 people. And I don't want to hike with 30 people. I don't. When I go out to hike, it's me and God and the beautiful scenery. Or it's me and David and God and the beautiful scenery. But I don't want to share that with other people. I like the peace that it brings me to just be there with just us, or just us is good. I don't want to have to think about somebody else. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Do I have to keep up a conversation? I'm a very conversational person. I love people, but there are times when I just don't want to be around a bunch of people, and hiking is one of those places I don't want to be. And so I continue to tell him no. I feel like someday we may have breakfast with him when we drive through. We drive past where he lives like once a month when we go to see our granddaughter. So I feel like sometime we may end up eating breakfast with him, but hiking with him, it's not going to happen. Anyway, here's what I almost said yes to. These people approached me with a treadmill. It was a nice treadmill, a solid treadmill, a big treadmill built for tall people. And I thought, I haven't had a treadmill in a long time. And when I did have that treadmill, I used it all the time. I mean, it was not something that I hung my clothes on. I actually used it, and I used it so much, and then we donated it to some more people who used it. But so I started thinking about that. I thought, okay, a treadmill, and built for tall people. I'm 5'11". It's got a nice, roomy, walk zone. It's got a big, nice, what do you call it? Motor. A big, nice motor. It's like deluxe. And so, and then I started thinking about you guys, and I thought, this would be really great for them. It would be something for somebody who feels uncomfortable, maybe walking outside, who doesn't want to go to the gym because they're uncomfortable there. For somebody who's just starting, like if it's sitting in your living room, you might just get on it and walk a little bit. I don't think that fitness should be limited to people who are 100 pounds. This one was rated up to 500 pounds. What if you weighed 500 pounds? And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are, and you want to really get in shape, and you don't have any way to really do it. You don't want to go outside because somebody's going to laugh at you. I mean, I can just see this. I try to put myself into somebody else's shoes, and I know I can't imagine exactly what they're going through, but I can imagine that it would be, if you really finally started thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get better for myself, but you just felt really super self-conscious. If you had that treadmill just sitting in your living room, you could just do it. And you wouldn't have to go outside until later, when you were like more ready to do it. And so I'm thinking about all these things. And so just when I get to the point where I'm almost saying yes, I asked a couple more questions, and they came back and they changeoed it. They're like, no, we're not going to give you that nice deluxe treadmill. We're going to give you this walking pad that you can slide under your bed. I think that'll suit your audience better. One, I have a walking pad. It is horrible. The belt slips on it. I think I've been on it a handful of times. I'm so disappointed with it. Like, there's no way I want that. And I don't want you guys to buy something. I don't want to say, oh yes, you should buy this thing and it costs a couple $100, and then you use it once, you shove it under the bed, and then you never get it out again. And you watch me on mine. No, I want you to be on one. If I'm going to give you my opinion on a piece of exercise equipment, it's going to be because I actually use it, and I actually think it's great, and I actually think there would be some benefit for you, because I'm not going to just sell out and try to sell you something that isn't right for you. And here's a funny part. Right in the middle of all the backing and forthing with that company, I found out that I have a free gym membership through Medicare. And that reminded me of something important. When you're not desperate, you make better decisions, right? And I wasn't desperate to have that treadmill. If I'd been sitting here, this is my only chance to solve the bad weather walking problem, maybe I would have jumped at that and talked myself into thinking it was something that was good instead of that it didn't actually fit. But freedom gives you options. Another thing, a walking pad, it doesn't have any support structure to it. At least not the one I've seen. The ones I've seen, they're just a pad. And I think people tend to use them with stand-up desks at work. And so there's balance concerns. When I talk about the rebounder, I've never used that balance thing, but what if you felt like you needed that to be safe? I would want you to have that option, right? This one didn't have any of that. It wasn't sturdy. It wouldn't accept as much weight, like you couldn't be as heavy on it. And I was just kind of like, what? No, my people are not gonna hear this from me. Just like I don't need something to just take up some more space in my house. I don't know about you, but I've been trying to get rid of stuff, like I think that, you go through life and you collect all this stuff. And when we moved in here, we moved in like 2 other houses full of stuff that we had a house in 2 other places. It's like, oh my gosh. And I had my mom's stuff. It's like, I gotta get rid of all this stuff, I don't need another treadmill or another like rebounder hanging around. Because I thought about that for a second. I thought, okay, well, I could compare them and see what the difference is. One was a bungee, mine's a spring treadmill, but it came right down to the fact that I've used that for 23 years. Dude, I'm not changing my mind. I love that rebounder. It's great. NEDAC is a great company. They have great customer service. I've hardly spent any money on it to maintain it over the years. I don't need another rebounder in my house to take up space. So same thing with the treadmill. Like I already have this walking pad that I don't use because it's horrible. Why would I want another one? No, I'm not going to share that with my people because I don't believe that that's what they're really looking for. Anyway, it was an exercise in the power of saying no to me and how, after I really thought about it a lot, how good I felt about the fact that you will always be able to trust me to tell you that this is a good thing. And you don't have to worry that I'm just shilling things out to you because somebody's going to pay me 10% commission. I won't do that. And I just feel like I want that trust from you. My community here is so important to me. You guys are the best. And I just love seeing you in the comments. And I love interacting with you. And so saying no, it protected my peace. It made me happy. It protected my house from extra junk. And it was a really good thing to do. So I am very curious. What have you said no to? Thanks for spending time with me today. If this encouraged you, give it a thumbs up and share it with another aging rebel who needs a little hope. I'll see you in the next one. And remember to live strong, laugh often, and shine with purpose.